Alright guys, this is Mr. Kazarian and welcome back to another episode of Industrial Rotation. Okay, so what are we doing today? Well, I got myself a fluid extractor and assembler. I also accidentally got myself a disassembler, which I made by accident, so I had to make an assembling machine as well. Whoopsies. Okay, so let's get this rolling, shall we? So the first thing we're going to need is some liquid tin, okay? So let's get 4 of that. But first of all, we need a way to transport it. And I'm thinking the best way to do that is probably going to be in a portable tank. Okay. It's not too hard to craft. Especially because I'm pretty certain we have a hardened variant. We can make a hardened variant. Now, I wonder if we could make a reinforced variant. Hardened glass, fused quartz. We could use fused quartz. Do I have enough fused quartz? Yes. So we now have a reinforced portable tank. Beautiful. There's no way on earth I can get all the way up to resonant for this, so we're just gonna go with that. So if I throw this stuff in, I should get molten tin in there. Okay, and now that I have the molten tin, we can look up the recipe for circuits. All right, and we need to get ourselves, I believe it's an advanced? No. A good electronic circuit. So we need an electronic circuit and 2 more NAND chips. I think we can also, yeah, okay. We can also now do this in here, which is pretty sweet as well. And it requires 36. So why don't can I actually do that? No. All right, so we actually have to have the Yeta wrench. Yeta wrench. Thank you. And let's jump up to here. And let's give her a good old-fashioned whack. Good, okay. So now we have some molten tin in there. And what we can do is we can take ourselves some copper and a stack of redstone. We're just going to get ourselves a bunch of red alloy ingots. So that's pretty simple. And we can start processing this down in our wire mill. Yes, that sound bug is Gregtech related. All right. So we take that. And now the cool thing is with this molten tin, all we need to do is we have our red alloy wire. We should have some steel plates hanging around. You know what? Let's do. I have 23, right? So let's get ourselves something like. Yeah. So let's see. We have 23 now, and I have a total of 53 of these. So let's say we'll take this up to 32. Right? That's 32. 32 divided by 4 is 8. Just like that. Okay? Okay. So 32, 8. Let's get this in here. Boom. And that goes in as well. And we should have a good amount of red alloy ingots cooked up. We come over to our wire mill. We'll chuck all of that stuff in there. All right. And the reason I'm doing everything up at once is because, of course, as you guys probably have figured out by now, it's easier to produce this stuff in bulk. Also, now we have the assembling machine. If we look at circuits, we can cut down on the cost for these circuits as well. So assembler, basic circuit board, and a NAND chip. Okay. If I go back, the basic circuit board, molten soldering alloy, or we could also use molten tin. The basic circuit board can be made in a forming press, which we don't have yet. Well, we do. And we can also, I believe, get silicon plates down. We'd have to get the etched medium voltage wiring, which requires a precision laser engraver, which is not something I especially want to do. Yeah, let's go with not something I especially want to do. Oh, well, we have a few extra. No, we don't. Okay, good. All right, never mind. So you have 32 and 8. That's perfect. This guy should be done in a couple seconds. And yoink. And then all we need to do is we just need to get ourselves a hammer. Or actually, hold on for a second. Wait just darn second here. Let's look up, if we look at circuit, right? We look at that, we look at this, we look at this. That's an extruder, cutting saw, alloy smelter, fluid solidifier, metal former. Nope, okay, so we have to use the hammer still. Up until we get that metal former, we're still using our hammer. That's unfortunate. Let's take this, and let's get ourselves... Nope, that's not going to work. Let's do this over here just so we don't end up crafting more than we actually want to, alright? So if I do that and that gets us... Oh, my math's completely off, isn't it? Right, because this gets us 16. So if I did 32, I'd have to have another 16 steel plates on me. Right, okay. Alright. Well, actually, if we have 32 of these, that's not a big deal, because we made 32 of this. And as you guys saw, those NAND chips are going to be pretty darn useful for us. So why don't we come back here? Let's get ourselves a bit more tin. Another 16 of it should be fine. And we'll chuck that back at the fluid extractor for right now. And in the assembling machine, all we're going to have to do is put this guy in and this in here. And as you can see, it's actually really fast. Alright? So we don't really have to worry about it too much. Put that up there. It'll fill up with some more molten tin. And just get it up on top of the assembling machine. Boom. And we can dump it all out. As you can see, it barely uses up any tin to do this. But on the bright side, we're getting ourselves a bunch of NAND chips, which are some of the most annoying things we have to craft in this entire step. Alright? So we got ourselves our NAND chips, we got ourselves our steel plates. That's pretty shiny. Okay. Now what was it we were making again? We needed one of those good circuits. Alright? And we needed that good circuit for something that I'm completely... Oh, right, the electrolyzer. Right, okay. So with the advanced electrolyzer, we need 2 of these, all right? So we need 2 regular circuits, electronic circuits. Well, that's not too shabby. I may already have... Nope, apparently not. All right, well, that's not a big deal. So let's do that. Let's look up our... Oh, perfect. Oh, nice. All right, that's nice to see for once. I have everything in hand. So we get that, and let's come running back to here for a minute. We'll open up our assembling machine again. That's another one of those. And let's get ourselves another pair of NAND chips. See, the nice thing about all this, though, is that as you progress in Gregtech, and it's one of the things I really do love about Gregtech, as you progress, things actually get cheaper. The basic stuff gets cheaper the higher in the tiers you are. All right? So aluminum right now is pretty scarce, but now once we get ourselves this electrolyzer going, we're going to be rolling in aluminum. Trust me, we'll be like wondering what the heck to do with all the aluminum we're getting. Okay? So that's just something, that's just kind of how Gregtech works, really. All right? You end up... Yeah, I think I got enough rubber pulp. You really end up using a lot less material the more advanced you get, just because it's... well, as you get more advanced, all of the technology you're using ends up helping you to build more stuff, right? So you just end up building more stuff, and as you build more stuff, then things get cheaper. Now, mind you, getting started can be a bit of a pain in the neck. With applied energistics, this also tends to mean that you kind of snowball into Gregtech. There we go, advanced electrolyzer. The other thing we're going to need is also going to be a transformer, all right? And we need a Gregtech, there we go. So we just need 3 tin cables and an LV machine hull, which is an LV machine casing, which means I need 2 more steel plates. 1, 2. Yeah, so as I was saying, it snowballs because things get cheaper and cheaper and faster, and also with applied energistics, it's so easy to hook stuff up that it becomes much easier to do what you want to do and a lot cheaper to do it as well. So there's that. Can I make... Hold on. Is there a cheaper way to do machine casings here? Assembler. 8 steel plates and an integrated circuit set to configuration 8. Now, I wonder if I can do this while still having this crap in there. Well, let's also see something here. Let's set it that way. Can I output liquids up there? No, I probably have to actually force them out. That's a downside. So let's just come over to here. Come on. Oh, wrong wrench. There we go. Well, let's see if we can actually do the assembly in the assembling machine while still having it set to circuit control 8. So let's get ourselves another circuit, which means another steel plate. This I don't know. I don't know if Greg lets you do what I'm trying to do, which is to leave the tin in there and still make something else. I'm going to guess it doesn't, which is going to be a pain in the neck. But what I'm going to figure is that I'm going to hope it does. We'll try it out. If it doesn't, that's no big deal. I'll just have to figure out how to get the tin out of there. Of course, Greg probably doesn't make it easy, and it's probably going to waste tin to do it that way. But I honestly don't really care overly much. It's tin. Tin is cheap. You know, tin is not exactly the most rare material I am dealing with right now. Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's get a NAND chip out. 1, 2, electronic circuit. Let's turn that into an integrated circuit. You can see I have some stuff already made up for this. And I have a screwdriver. There we go. And what is configuration 8? Okay, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So if I go like that and like this, I can set it to configuration 8. Let's see if this works. Yeah, it does. Look at that. Thank you, Greg. I love you. That's awesome. Okay. A lot of Minecraft machines, actually, I'm sounding really surprised because I am. A lot of Minecraft machines won't let you do what I just did. They would require me to match the recipe exactly, including not having the tin in there. Well, Gregtech's smart enough that it says, well, you're not using the tin, but there's no reason why it still can't craft if it has tin in its reservoir. And I'm like, thank you, Greg. Thank you so much. Okay, so then we needed that transformer. I didn't need to exit this window at all, but I did. Okay, so I just need 5 tin cable. Okay, I can do that. Yoink. And then I should just be able to go like that. This. Oh, I need a copper cable there. Oh, okay. I'm like, why isn't this working? Well, that's because I'm a derp. That's why it's not working. We'll put that there, and we get ourselves a low voltage transformer. Okay, so why don't I explain what the heck we're doing now? So we need to get ourselves an electrolyzer set up. But this is an MV machine, so it needs a higher voltage, all right? So we're going to have to transform the voltage up. Right? Right. Now, if we look at the voltages, I can use a rubber hammer to invert, fine. But it's going in this mode, it's going in at 128 and out at 32. What I needed to do was I needed to go in at 32 and out at 128. And it can accept up to amperage 4, all right? So what we're going to do is we're going to set this guy up so that it can actually output decently well. I just have to find a power line to hook this jerk up to. Which is probably easier said than done right now, as I look at this crap. Alright, well let me get some more 4x tin cable, and I think I know where I can shove this. My power lines are getting a bit confused now, but it's going to have to deal. I get some 4x tin cable here. I think we're actually going to shove this in the workshop room. That seems to be a better idea, because this is under less power strain than other systems I have. And I'm just going to have to shove it over here, I think. Let's see. We'll actually stick it, I think, in the far corner back here. I know, I don't like to do the digging on camera, but Okay, am I actually inside the room? I would be here. Perfect. So here's what we're going to do. All right, we're going to take our transformer, and we're going to shove him down there. And I now just have to figure out which side of this guy is which isn't the easiest thing to do in the world now that I think about it. Let's just break some of this crap. Yeah, I know. Keeping a clean basement isn't exactly my cup of tea, is it? All right, so I'm going to guess that he's hooked up in the vaguely correct direction. Let's get upstairs and take a quick look at it just to make sure. You can never be too certain with this stuff. All right, so I'm going to guess that that's the HV side. All right, so let's get ourselves our rubber hammer. Okay. I'm going to guess that that's the HV side right there. The MV side. So we're going to put down our advanced transformer, advanced electrolyzer right there. And he can't do anything yet because he doesn't have power. So now what we're going to do is we're going to hook up. Let's get down here. Blink. We're just going to take a look at this guy. And what we're going to do is we're going to take our, and I have it in here, an LV battery box, all right? Because if we look at this guy, right, he should be able to accept, if I look at this very carefully, he should be able to accept at least 4 amps of power. So if we connect a battery buffer to him and switch this battery buffer to have him output up that way, and then we give 4 amps of battery power in there, he starts charging, all right? And you can see, oops, and you can see that he's actually draining fairly equally because it's 4 amps out of each of those, right? Right. So then we can just hook this guy up like so. Of course, we're going to be getting a bit of power loss on this, but that's fine. Clicky, clicky. There we go. This guy should start to recharge once these turbines figure out they're actually connected to something. Yeah, okay, so he's running. Yep, and they're recharging. Just took a second for those turbines to figure out what they were doing. So now we can just run upstairs, and we should have that electrolyzer ready to roll. Right? Right. So now that we have an electrolyzer up and running, what's the first thing we're going to do? Well, the first thing I want to do is get myself some lithium. All right? Now, lithium is used for the highest tier batteries that have the highest charge time. And you just need lithium dust. All right? And you get lithium dust either through finding the ore. You can centrifuge certain types of dust. All right? That's fine. Or you can electrolyze, and you can get it out of clay. All right? So we're going to actually use clay dust for this because clay dust is honestly the easiest thing to find. So clay dust, you get macerator clay bricks. You can get it from a block of clay gets you 2. Okay. Rock crusher as well. Clay gets you 2. That's not too bad. So why did I get out some clay? I should have a fair amount of it in here. So let's get some clay going. We have 32 of it. That should be fine. That should get us at least a little bit of lithium to get us started. And we're just going to grind it up. Now, I don't think I actually have a macerator up there. So we're just going to, yeah, we're just going to chuck this clay, actually. Well, hold on. Clay. Clay. Dust. Gregtech or IC2. So clay dust, rock crusher, hammer, centrifuge, unpackager, packager, pulverization, pulverizer. If it's a pulverizer recipe... Yeah, okay, so if it's a pulverizer recipe, then I think we can do it in the sag mill. I think the sag mill has a similar... can handle those recipes as well. I think. Let's see. Unless it's just going to give me... clay and silicon. Yeah, that's exactly what it gave me. But it gave me back the clay, which is kind of weird. Okay, so we're just going to throw this in the rock crusher then. That's not too big a deal. So I'll be back in just a couple minutes. Alright, guys. So now if we take some of this clay dust, we chuck it in here. This guy should run. And we should have out popping. sodium, lithium, aluminum, and silicon. Which works out pretty well for us because we kind of need all of those, right? So we have the lithium dust. We can now use that to make ourselves some lithium batteries, which is actually pretty cool because the lithium batteries are pretty effective. And also, this lithium is pretty cheap. I mean, it's clay. We can get it from a bunch of different sources. We actually should already maybe have some building up from processing different things. And I know that there are other dusts that we can also electrolyze down to get ourselves more lithium. And this lithium is going to be very important for us. We have 4 now. Because these lithium batteries, if we look at the recipe for lithium dust, the uses rather, we get 2 lithium dust, small battery hull gets us a small lithium battery. We go all the way up to 32 to get ourselves a large battery, which is a 512 volt. Or we can also go with medium. 8 gets us a medium. Nice. So that gives us a lot more battery power that we can use, all right? And also allows us to centralize our network a little bit more. Because remember something, all right? Remember, your power loss is per packet, so it's per amp. So right now, over these 4 amp lines, we're actually losing 4 EU every block, right? Because we're sending 4 packets. Each packet loss is a 1 packet block loss. If we look at the cable over here, if we look at Gregtech cables, we can see that we lose 1 amp per meter on the copper. And actually, let's look at 128 MV. That would give us a better clue. 128 MV. No, I guess we're doing it this way. All right, so if we look at this, we can go with soldering alloy. Nope, that won't work. Iron wire, which is 6 EU per volt. Yeah, like heck, we're going with that. Nickel, which is 6. We can go with, well, 3. Cupronickel, which is 3. We can go with copper, which is 2 EU per volt loss. Yeah, okay. That's not the best in the world. Or we can go with annealed copper. Now, annealed copper we get with annealed copper wire, annealed copper plate, annealed copper ingot, and we get that, I'm willing to bet, in the blast furnace, right? 120 EU per tick, time 125 seconds. But we need to pump some oxygen in there, all right? Well, how do we get oxygen? We take oxygen cells. How do we get oxygen cells? Fluid canning machine, okay. Oxygen, right. The centrifuge can get us oxygen as well, okay. So powellite, calcium, that. Centrifuging brown limonite gets us oxygen and hydrogen. Well, I think we have some brown limonite laying around, all right. Well, yeah, we don't have that. We can also electrolyze. A lot of stuff in electrolyzation gives us oxygen, all right? So we have a lot of different ways to get ourselves some oxygen out of here. Barite, uvarvajib, chalk, calcite. Calcite's pretty decent. We can do bauxite, which is also pretty good. Titanium, aluminum, and oxygen. That's not too shabby right there. That requires a lot of power and a lot of time, all right? We could do lepidolite, we could do scheelite, we can do a lot of different dusts we can use to get ourselves some oxygen, all right? So hydrogen with oxygen cells, sodium persulfate, we can do talc, silicon dioxide, borax, sulfuric acid. Sugar gets us water, oxygen, carbon. That's actually not a bad way of doing this, come to think of it. Yeah, I might end up doing this one, the sugar one. But anyways, guys, so that's the basics of what we're doing with Gregtech today. We managed to get ourselves some better systems up and running, and I think I'm going to do that sugar thing. So I'm going to take care of that off camera, just get myself some oxygen cells, and I'll get myself some annealed copper wire anyways. So guys, this has been Mr. Kasarian. I want to thank you all for watching. It has been fun as always. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Hope to see you in the next episode. But until then, guys, happy mining. Oh yeah, pack update. As I'm recording this, I'm putting together a pack update. It should fix the Forge issue. I forgot to tell FTB to update Forge when I sent the last pack update. It took me too long to figure it out, but I will have that up. So by the time you're seeing this video, the pack should be updated to beta 2.01. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next episode. Happy mining.